Just Dance may have a new couple, and they might be. My name is Avery, and if Just Dance has one fan, it's me. And if Just Dance has no fans, it means I am no longer alive. Today we're going to dissect the map for Thank You Next and talk about the theories around the coaches involved. If you enjoy Just Dance lore, I have quite a few lore videos already if you want to go check them out. Now let's get into the lore! Thank You Next is a song from Ariana Grande expressing gratitude to her exes because they all led her down a path of self-love. And let's be honest, do I even need to explain the rest of the song? It was a smash. Everyone knows this song. The map combines inspiration from the music video with a school setting called Just Dance High School, a school you may have seen before in Good For You from Just Dance 2022, which is a song about a bitter breakup. And trust me, those details play into the lore big time. The map for Thank You Next starts with the coach, whose name is Grace, walking into the hallway from the left classroom around 12:15 p.m. During the chorus, she dances with silhouettes of her exes. The coach for Happy from JD15, the coach for Blame from JD16, and the coach for Sorry from JD17. If you listen to the lyrics, you can probably figure out which coach corresponds to which lyric. One Taught Me Love would represent the coach for Happy, One Taught Me Patience would represent the coach for Sorry, and One Taught Me Pain would represent the coach for Blame. So it makes complete sense why the Just Dance team would choose these particular coaches to be her exes. There are also a couple Easter eggs in the classrooms. On the wall, we can see a photo of 4 cheerleaders from the map This Is How We Do, and a photo of the coach from Teenage Dream, insinuating that these coaches are students of Just Dance High or perhaps even graduated. In the second verse, Ariana sings, "I met someone else, we're having better discussions. I know they say I move on too fast, but this one's gonna last, because her name is Ari, and I'm so good with that." In the context of the song, Ariana is singing about falling in love with herself, but this lyric holds wider context within the lore of the map. At the very end of the map, Grace smiles and walks into the classroom on the right. The camera then pans into her locker, showing a few Easter eggs. We have the green number 8 jersey from Level Up in JD22. My theory is that this could be the dance team at JD High, but it could also represent cheerleading or another sport. There's a few stickers from maps from the Just Dance Kids songs. There's also a photo of the 4 cheerleader coaches from Baby One More Time hung in the locker. And the biggest reveal of all, we see Grace and the coach from Good For You posing in photo booth pictures, surrounded by hearts. This has led to a lot of speculation around the relationship between Grace and the coach for Good For You, and I have quite a few theories, so buckle up, especially if you're Rasputin stuck in traffic. Sorry, I just wanted an excuse to use that meme again. Theory number 1 is that they're just best friends. I'm not gonna lie, I would take pictures like this with my girlfriends. Also, considering Thank You Next is more of a story about finding love outside of romantic partners, it could make sense to the meaning of the song that they are just friends. But theory number 2 is that they're romantically involved.
Here we go, lesbians, come on! Oh, let's go, lesbians!
Just 2 gal pal roommates, nothing to see here. This is truly the strongest theory when you look at the details of the map. So you might remember one of the lyrics in the song being that she met a girl named Ari and they're having better discussions and she's moving on. Now when JD22 came out, there wasn't a place to learn the coaches' names, so the coach for Good For You didn't have any set name. Until now. Ariana Katana made a great analysis TikTok on the lore for this map, and in the video, she spoke to the lore guardian who confirmed that Good For You's name is Ari. This would completely change the context of the meaning of the map, knowing that Grace isn't talking about herself, she's talking about another girl named Ari. A few of the photos look friendly, but a couple do look very romantic, namely the second one. Another detail I wanted to point out is something that I missed the first few times I watched this map. In Good For You, Ari walks into the hallway from the right classroom, and the time on the clock is 12:15. In Thank You Next, the time is also 12:15, and at the very end of the map, Grace smiles and walks into the right classroom, meaning she could be going to meet Ari in class, considering she'd be there at 12:15. I could go down this rabbit hole forever. It felt like such a small detail that was so easy to overlook, but once I realized it, I was like, now wait just a second. I also specifically want to mention that if they are together, this would be Just Dance's first LGBT canonical romance, unless they want to say something about Wanderlust and Jack Rose. We're all waiting. If Grace and Ari are the first gay couple, then I have to say it was a very long time coming. Just Dance has been a series for almost 14 years, and I have to say my biggest disappointment has always been the lack of representation for sexualities. It's 2023. If you have a problem with people who identify as queer, then I hate to break it to you, but you're fighting for a world that's already lost. Queer people don't just deserve to be tolerated, we deserve to be accepted, respected, and represented in our favorite pieces of media. So take that information how you will and go forth with peace and love. The last theory is one that I kind of thought of on my own, but it's a bit of a stretch, I'm not gonna lie. So in my lore video for last Friday night, we got into the theory around there being different timelines in Just Dance. For instance, even though a map came out in 2022, it could be a prequel to a map that happened in 2019. My very last theory on this map is that Thank You Next is the prequel of how they met and got together, but Good For You is after they broke up. There's no real evidence for this, I just think it would be interesting to explore some origin stories in Just Dance. It's interesting to think of how two coaches meet before things kind of hit the fan with them. Kind of like how Just Dance has discussed that Night Swan was a failed ballerina before she became a villain and recruited an entire army that It's something to think on, I think. Overall, I am so impressed with how much of a Pandora's box Just Dance managed to open with this map. Usually it takes multiple maps and a few years of story building to create such a strong reaction to lore in a map, and they managed to do all of this in 3 minutes. I haven't felt emotionally invested in a love story like this since we found out about the maybe breakup of Rasputin and the bride, and they've been canonically together for years. Just Dance is doing a fantastic job at leaning into the lore and finding ways to leave little breadcrumb hints for us to try and find. Trying to piece all of these details together to find out what really happened while we wait for more answers has been so fun. And I have to say, none of these details feel like they were just picked at random and thrown in there. For instance, when it came to Grace's exes, they could have picked any random coach from the series, but they specifically chose ones that fit with the lyrics of the song. The way they've been able to weave these stories has been so fun to watch, mostly because of the level of care and detail they put into it. And now I'm just excited to find out more. I did speak with the lore guardian, and she did say we will for sure find out what the relationship between Grace and Ari is, but we'll have to wait for more information. Thank you so much for watching this lore video on Thank You Next. When I initially played Thank You Next and made my video for it, I totally thought they were just best friends because that photo shoot is like something I would do with my girlfriends. But the more details I looked into and found out about, the more I'm like, I think they're together. Like this pose? Nah. They're together. Also, can I just say this is the prettiest I've felt in so long? I feel so elegant. I feel so beautiful. I feel like a model. I look like Linda Evangelista. If you enjoyed this video, I have quite a few other Just Dance lore videos if you want to check them out, and I made a dancing gameplay for Thank You Next. I have to say, I feel like the way that I view my own dancing has changed a lot since I started doing my videos in 4K. It is so crispy. I look so crispy. Please let me know in the comments which lore video you'd like me to make next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!